also, as we spoke about you winning the lotto, you want to maybe speak a little bit on how becoming the first equity owner in Oakland for a dispensary and the struggles that comes along with having the insurance and basically the pluses and minuses to that and the reality of what it means to have insurance in the cannabis game.
So when we got our license, the first thing we had to do was get a LOI. What's a LOI? Letter of intent. What is a letter of intent? A letter of intent is to show that someone's going to allow you to use your business license to open your dispensary in their building. So we had to go find people with buildings that didn't have liens on them, et cetera, et cetera. But we had to do this with no money. There was no loans or nothing available from the city at the time. So we literally had to just go find somebody to trust us.
That's the pros and cons of being first though, right?
Yeah, and then, but the city had a program in place, a technical assistant program, but the people that were the technical assistants weren't in weed. So it's kind of like, how can you assist me and you're not in weed?
Shit about it.
So, you know, whatever. So we went, sat in front of some terrible deals, a few. But as fate will have it, the day we won, we were the only one in the building out of the 4 people that won a license. We were the only ones in the building that day. So as soon as we won, my business partner.
Talk about showing up for real, huh?
Right. My business partner that was ex-business partner, Gypsy, she was there and she just sat down kind of like in shock when they announced the second to last ball, whatever. And everybody rushed me.
So fucking
handed
crazy.
me stuff. Somebody hands me a folder. Asian man. Say, hey, I'm Matt. Check us out. We have a location.
Wow.
And I'll take the folder, whatever. I throw all the contact information from everybody else in that folder. So we fast forward, we go through all these shitty deals, all this shit, blah, blah, blah. We end up going back to that place. I'm telling my partners, like, hey, man, this is a historic location. We should talk to these people. Then people was Grizzly Peak.
Wow.
So we go, we talk to them, we set up our deal, we get in motion, we start doing what we're doing, and by November, we open. But while all this is going on, we had to negotiate with Grizzly Peak, come up with them letting us borrow the money so we can open, come up with terms that didn't give them any ownership, but also allowed us to do what we needed to do.
Right.
Get insurance, get all that. We get open, we cracking. We opened 2018, 2019, we did like $5 million. Great year. We was
we
chilling.
gotta give a toast to that.
Yes, sir.
I was there to witness that shit. They opened up with a big bang.
But I started to notice, my previous Gypsy partners was on some weird shit, and I would like, try to call it out and kept kind of like getting sidelined. The sidelining kind of like came to a head after mediation, after whatever. It came to a head when we got robbed. So we got robbed 2020. George Floyd got murdered, and the cannabis industry took a big, tremendous hit. If you were anywhere in California or anywhere in the country, stores are getting broken into, et cetera. But cannabis really, really got hit bad. My store was hit for about 6 hours straight. No police interaction. They totally wiped it out.
That video went viral. That shit was
Video
crazy.
went viral.
I felt, being a friend, I felt that.
Yeah, man. That must
The
have been
next
devastating.
day, I got online and I told people don't retaliate, educate. I literally made it up while I was online at that moment and was like, nah, we're not going to retaliate. Because mind you, I'm getting phone calls from my hood niggas. Right? He wants to go pull up and let everybody, they're like, no, I don't want that. Because somebody died at my store, that media coverage I'm not getting, I'm going to get because somebody at my store dead. So we fast forward, we get robbed. They clear out the store. I'm thinking we got good insurance. Oh, I left out something. So when we first got started, my original Gypsy partner, it was me and them. Grizzly Peak had no ownership, but they had a management option where they, did the hiring, firing, HR, whatever. My Gypsy partners ended up coming up with some BS on Grizzly Peak to where they ended up inserting themselves with our vote to be in charge of the finances, the insurances, etc.
Wow.
Unbeknownst to me and anybody else, they changed the insurance. So when we got hit in 2020, we weren't covered but for $100,000 total for $1 million worth of shit in the store.
Wow.
One tenth of what you lost.
And on top of that, the partner wasn't paying taxes. They went and opened another store in another state, and all the money that they were saying they were paying because they was controlling the books, so they could write in there that they were saying paying. You know about P&L, they can put anything in there. It's a computer program. The bookkeeper was their friend, so they can put whatever they want in there. And by them doing that, they ended up siphoning basically they left me with like 2.5 in debt and cut. So I'm going through all this. All the while still trying to open, all the while dealing with the insurance, not knowing that they had messed up the insurance. Not to even mention that insurance companies, like we were talking about, insurance companies in the cannabis space are dropping people left and right and then overcharging them, just like banking, just like rent in the cannabis space. Everything is marked up 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Because they think cannabis is making all this money.
You would think after all this time, the way they've been dogging you guys with the banking system, how they make regulations for everything else, but they haven't cleared that part up. I mean, for the safety of them on their end and even you guys.
Dude, it's ridiculous. The money I spend on taxes and security measures for selling weed is ridiculous. When I was trapping, all I needed was a pistol, and that was it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the stuff I have to worry about with
that
my
was
staff,
your insurance.
That was my insurance. I mean, I had what's that shit called? I had prepaid legal. I had medical coverage because I always had a job. You know what I'm saying? So I was ready in case I ever had to go down. I always had bail money because I knew at the end of the day I'm doing something illegal. Somebody could snitch. But like the stuff that I have to go through on this legal side just to run at the end of the day, a legal business. I have a business tax certificate.
That's crazy.
I should be treated like a business. The shit that I have to go through to run this legitimate, like people don't understand. I gotta go, because I don't have a bank now, but crossing my fingers, my actual bank is Unified. They're actually have a cannabis officer now, so I'm praying that they do that. And I'm also trying to work with them to like work them as a consultant. So that's
Make it a win-win.
So, but the way they have it now with us not being able to bank, if I need to pay a $10,000 bill, I gotta go to like 4 post offices and get however many money orders they allow me to get in $1,000 increments. Collect them all after I went to 4 or 5 post offices, then go and pay that bill.
Do you think that actually keeps people that may have the money and have the skills and everything who like could potentially open up a spot? Do you think jumping through all those hoops keeps them from actually doing it? Or?
I would say the lack of education on how to do it should keep anyone from doing it. Like, I want everybody freed that's been in prison for cannabis on any level.
Absolutely.
But I don't believe that every last one of them should get in the cannabis space unless they've been educated and trained on how to move around in the space.
And make it work.
It would be stupid if we just put everybody that gets out, put them in the cannabis space. And then they fuck it up, and then they're like, we told you niggas, you wasn't gonna be able to do it like that. Train them, teach them, and then you might realize some people don't want to sell weed no more.
I mean, I gotta ask you, how does the state get away with taxing cannabis the way it does, but then tobacco, alcohol, they're not getting whopped like
you really want me to answer
marijuana? I do.
This is America.
I mean, they're being bought basically.
This is America, 1, and then 2. We have to touch on something that people that really don't really equate to this. We stop fucking voting.
Right.
We stopped teaching our kids about voting. I have my oldest kid is 23. My youngest is 14. They give a fuck less about voting because they're not taught about it. I remember being in school, being taught about the importance of voting on your local level because the people you voted in local craft the laws for the federal.
Yeah. And what about those who have been educated and have voted and have seen no difference and no wiser, whether it's this guy or that guy, and it's still the same scenario, the same problems,
I feel my vote counts, and you can't complain if you didn't vote for the person that you feel should be in there.
Very true.
So, like, I can't, there's people that on both sides, well, if my vote don't matter, your vote has to matter. If you're voting for that person and they don't get in there, that means enough people didn't vote for that person. You can't say that your vote didn't count. You didn't have enough people to vote.
I feel like that too, but I feel like in certain ways, like what we've seen now in these last 5 years in politics, especially through this fucking pandemic.
Seriously.
Like what's even really true?
I believe Democrats and Republicans
are the same. What do you believe, right?
Democrats and Republicans are exactly the same.
Do we really vote? Do all these votes get really tallied, and do you really win off that?
Yeah.
We see it changes. Oh, it's the college vote.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe anything that involves the government.
Seriously.
But I mean, like he said,
if it's supposed to be fair,
and if you didn't vote, you shouldn't complain. You know what I mean? Vote, and then if it didn't go your way, then complain.
But if you didn't do anything, if you voted and you still complain and you still see it a certain way, like I voted for Biden because I didn't want to see another 4 years with Trump, and then to see what Biden is done.
Seeing
like,
another person, but then it's still being the exact same
same
thing.
reality.
I ain't never voted for Trump, bro, but you gotta say, like, all these Russian cats pushing up, the Ukraine shit, all the shit that's going on, like, at least people were afraid of dude, you know what I'm saying? And he kept it 100.
Bro, I'm telling
I ain't voted for him, I
this
ain't rock with
literally-
him. But I feel like we voted for this presidency and they ain't doing shit.
No, but that's what people fail to realize. It's by the time stuff gets to the president, it's already set in stone.
Yeah.
If we haven't voted the people in on the local level,
That's exactly
it
what
defeats
he's
the whole
saying.
purpose. That's what I'm
You're telling me
saying.
that people haven't, like San Francisco, just outs on how many superintendents in the Unified School District. Like at some point, some people voted for them because they believed in them, but then to see the results and to see.
So you can vote, and players fuck up. So you can vote for whoever you want to vote for.
Scandal
People
here,
can fuck
scandal
up,
there.
and that's why we're opposed to being a democracy. You vote again. You know what I'm saying? But again,
Unless you
people,
Mary Berry, baby.
we were taught. I
Berry.
remember we were taught the importance of checks and balances. By the time something gets to the presidential desk, it's already set. The president is just instructing
To
what is
sign
given
off.
He's the
on the
puppet.
lower
Yeah,
levels. That's it.
yeah.
And a lot of
Signature
us
and
have
stamp.
forgot that. Like Democrats and
Vote for
Republicans
Pedro.
are the same, bro. They're the same.
I honestly thought through this crazy fucking pandemic and like it seemed like literally the end of days, I thought that we'd finally come under some understanding of just being human, being all together. You know, we had all this social injustice going on, and like you said, like George Floyd's death impacted like so much shit. So much shit was going on under the radar because that was the only thing that was getting so much media attention. Like, you know, I believe you even weighed in on the Tuck because after you guys got robbed, it was like, you know, they wanted to highlight you as being, the first Black owner of this equity program for the good or greater of their image look and campaigns for the people that I'm sure that created that law and made them look good as well as you that day. But then you fast forward and, you know, when you really need them and these break-ins and stuff and the insurance and stuff is all going on. You got all
I
this
mean, to
shit
be in
that's
that
going
place for
on.
hours, like you said, and not have one pair of cops show up.
Not
I mean,
one.
that says everything to me.
I mean, the man spending millions of
It's
dollars.
definitely changed because, you know, a lot of us didn't realize, even the police didn't know, that we were paying taxes. Part of our taxes goes to the Oakland Police Department. And
Facts.
the police didn't know that. You know how I know they didn't know that? Because when we got robbed, the day after we got robbed, we were on a phone call with OPD and a bunch of different cannabis owners in the space. And we're talking about, you know, how y'all just left us for dead last night. And the captain of OPD at the time that was on the call was R. Wingate. R. Wingate was my arresting officer in 2005 when I called.
Wow, ironic is that, though?
So I hadn't talked to him since the day I got arrested. Well, I talked to him the day after I got arrested because he seen me at work. But we hadn't talked. We hadn't talked. So
That's crazy.
I could introduce myself, tell him, you know, that's me, Eric, the whole Zoom, like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So we let him know, hey,
fucking
this was going on. Y'all not protecting this. But as soon as he was on and trying to do it, he got deployed. He's active. So he got deployed. And the police kind of dropped the ball again. So when we got hit again in November, I was kind of like fed up. I put out a call, not like I want to fight you call, but I made a call like I need to talk to the chief of police. He from Oakland, I'm from Oakland. My cousin is a lieutenant in OPD. I'm like, we need to get on a Zoom. Like, we need to let them know what the fuck is going on.
Tugging R. Winfield on the next verse.
I'm like, because my thing is, I know we paying y'all. You not finna. I've begged for OPD to come just pull in my parking lot and take a report. Like, this ain't Prop 215 days where we scared of y'all. We're supposed to work together, and I'm paying you. Like, I'm paying you to come protect me.
Man. Yeah.
So once I talked to him and he felt that emotion, I talked to Chief day before yesterday because I told him I've talked to my security team. They're like, Tuck, whatever the fuck you said work. He said they've been pulling up, coming chopping up with us, taking notes. So in defense of the OPD, with in regards to the cannabis break-ins and stuff, they have been owning. I can honestly say they have been because you don't know what you're not told. That's something me and my wife just came up with recently. You can't, if you don't know. Now, if we dealing with this 6 months from now, you can't say you don't know.
Yeah,
because I have it on record via Zoom that was recorded that you know.
Mm.
So now it's a problem. And it's just holding people accountable. Like a lot of these disagreements in government and whatever else can just be set down over a conversation like this.
Yep.
And just people really being open up and realizing that you players fuck up. We can agree to disagree, but that don't mean that they got to be any funky shit with it.
Exactly.
I like your philosophy too, because I was talking with you before, and I was letting them know we talk on daily chats on IG Lives and stuff, and you had mentioned that about, you know, we were all talking about how we can help better the youth, and you had mentioned that, you know, they got to be taught. You know what I'm saying? We need to put that out there. And they don't know nothing else. And
But I'm so tired of motherfuckers. I got option. Okay, can you explain why they're your ops? Well, they're my ops because such and such got into it. Okay, did such and such did those such and such actually have it out and do what they need to do? Or are you fighting on behalf? Like, it's just stupid. That's not how we came up. That's not how we came up. I don't have enemies unless if you don't like me, you just an asshole. Like you know what I'm saying. I don't surround myself with that because I like to be able to move around. Like I can go coast to coast solo. By myself, no security, no nothing. Not that I need it, but I'm just saying, like I don't need like I'm covered in the blood, so I'm able to move around, do what I need to do, and that's how like I approach. Like, dude, you got to be able to be good people. Like, I'm going to Houston next week to go fuck with Scarface. Them, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come do the podcast. I'm gonna tap in with such and such. You know what I'm saying? Like when you come down, you tap in.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a major thing, man.
Like I don't know, man.
You got to pull up, tap in.
I don't like that shit.
You've grown so much in this space in the 4 years with having Blunts and More. It's created some wonderful partnerships, you know, and great relationships, like you said, Scarface.
Yeah.
Not to mention some of the brothers that you introduced me to, Stack, Matt Barnes, Ned Brands, Al Harrington.
Yep. Happy
you know
birthday.
what I mean?
Al's birthday was yesterday.
A big one up to the man. You know what I'm
42,
saying?
1980.
You know, and I'm speaking on this because just as I brought back to earlier in the wristband, because Mike wears, being a good person. I ain't never met a harder networking person more than myself than you, bro. You be everywhere, from the campaigns to the TVs. But the group of people that you surround yourself with like that is paid off in a sense because you just got acknowledged, you know, from the Harrington Institute, right?
Right.
Yes.
Big Al and them, and
I'm a
y'all came
teacher.
through.
I'm a professor now.
You know what I mean?
I
said whatever's little bit Reese's. I'm not Reese Rita for that part right there.
I got a little bit.
Speak on that. How a blossoming friendship from someone that you know you were just trying to get us straight into the store. You guys years later are best friends. You guys hang out. You tap in. He comes to town. He's to the store. You go out to the compound.
All the shit.
Speak on it, man.
I took the same approach that I had hustling with people. And I know a lot of people, like, I used to be guarded like that. Oh, I can't make new friends and all this shit. And you can't grow old from people. You can grow old from people. It can happen. You can grow apart.
For sure.
But you also got to be willing to accept new friends. And my wife, she's like my security. We don't be on that shit. But we both had to really see that there are other good people. And Al was just genuinely a good fucking person. And we hit it off on some what's crazy. I got a phone call to connect with him through somebody else. I put the gypsy on the phone call with them. Next thing I know, we hang up. She down there with him 2 days later. Didn't tell me nothing about it, but I didn't care because we were just all, you know, networking. I'm thinking you going down there on behalf. But it was red flags, you feel me? And he seen it and felt kind of uncomfortable, but still was like, all right, whatever. But we just talked about it. We hit it off. We family men. Them fucking gypsies.
You heard that them fucking light skin. I'm light skin. I know them red balls. Them
we
crazy.
just hit it. I don't know. It was perfect timing for us to meet each other. You know what I'm saying? And then just our granny links with him, how he got into viola, named after his granny, why he started smoking, how my connection with my granny. We just had so much that we just it was meant for us to connect. And I was already a fan of his, already a fan of Stacks, already a fan of Matt's.
Oh man, we believe, baby.
For them to come and show love to me, and it was just out to just stay. Like you said, I was around you 5 minutes, and you was like, "You cool." So it was just like that, and it blossomed into I knew he was running a school, and I told I've been trying to expand my speaking engagements and like instructional like things. I want to be, okay, people know I sell weed, I got a store, but I'm more than that. So I'm trying to do different things.
Yes.
And I'm like, bro, can I teach there? He was like, yeah. I'm like, well, I don't got no teaching credentials. I said, I don't even have a resume. I said, I got a bio. He was like, bro. He was like, your 26 years of experience is your shit. So like, I did an interview. I did 2 interviews, killed both of them. And starting March 1st, I started my first class.
That's it, bro.
So yeah, like I was saying, March 1st, I officially began my tenure as a professor for Harrington Institute, powered by the Cleveland School of Cannabis. Still accepting students. I'll be teaching for 6 weeks right now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 1 in the afternoon. I have a syllabus and all the good shit.
How do they reach out to you? Is it online?
It's online. So if you go to the Harrington Institute Instagram page or theharringtoninstitute.com, it'll pop right up. You can register there online. It's not hella expensive. I've seen things like 10 or maybe 12 students register right now, which is to have one want to listen to me. It's just like
for sure.
mind blowing. So
Hey, man, we up in there.
especially considering
1,000.
all the stuff that's been going on, like knows, and then we've been kind of talking off camera about it, but I shouldn't be open, y'all. Like, to go through what I went through with the previous partner, like, people don't really, when I'm calling the gypsy is the lady who was sitting next to me when I won the license.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her mom were a gypsy team. They came, I don't really think they believed that they were gonna get a dispensary, but they had in their mind what they wanted to do from jump.
They had a hidden agenda.
And never included me in it, which was good. Which was great because it worked out how it was supposed to work out.
That's what I was about to say. It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It was Yahweh put them in my life for them to shit on me in order for me to be able to
run it
own
back and double
100% of my
up.
business, what I own now. But going through all of that, yeah, they left B&M with about $2.5 million in debt. This was vendor debt, meaning brands that were bringing us product that they weren't paying. And then this was also tax debt. We, just like all businesses, have to pay taxes, even though we can't write anything off. So I pay payroll tax. When my staff gets paid, I take out SSI and all the stuff. We have to collect that money. That money is then supposed to be turned over to the IRS. The gypsies were collecting the money and not paying it, but put it in the books that they were paying it, and then they ran and opened the store in Oklahoma that is now closed.
It started to make you think that shit was all the way inside, man, with the whole thing, though, bro. You know?
So the only reason why the break-in I know wasn't an inside thing is because everybody got hit. There's no way that they could have known that night that would happen.
Them not being from out here and not really knowing that many people too, it was like damn near looked like them 150, 200 people that hit the store, bro.
No, it was actually, let me see, it was 70 cars. It was like 280 something, almost 300 people. But then they were coming in rows, so a couple hundred would come one time, then another couple hundred would come again. It was, and I'm watching this on camera, just like wow, seeing a bunch of my people.
Already called it in to
OPD. We've already done
everything. No
response. No response. They told us that they told us they weren't going to be able to come. They let us know because, mind you, they were dealing with riots. It was a bunch. It wasn't just cannabis that was getting robbed. But my thing is, send one cop, send somebody. They didn't send anything. It was shootouts that night all over the place. It was a lot. It was a lot.
It changed a lot.
So
it was a lot.
With all these trials and tribulations and struggles, like what do you think needs to change in the industry?
They have to lower the taxes. They have to. It's been
like if you're talking to Gavin Newsom right now, you're gonna explain to him what he needs to do.
You need to lower taxes. 1, you need to talk to us. 2, you need to get on these insurance companies. 3, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's easily fixable, but you just got to be willing to talk about the fix. But like right now, where I sit after reopening in March of last year, there's no. If it wasn't just for me and my grit and determination, and just me always looking for solutions instead of worried about the problem, I would not be open.
Bounce back.
Who's gonna take $2.5 million in debt and partner with somebody?
But what does that say about the industry to go through everything you went through to then just a bit ago say in the next 3 years things don't change? Like
it tells you that
see
it
yourself
sucks
succeeding and having to sell.
Not in California, no, and that's why it's so big for me to make sure people know that. Like everybody and mama wants to come get in California cannabis, but no one is telling them what's the real. Yeah. I'm not saying that you can't make money in here, but I'm just letting you know that there's ways that you can make money and there's ways that you shouldn't want to jump into right away, especially if you don't have the training or the money to really survive in that space.
Like you said, people just think it's all glitz and glamour. And when they think of California, they think of the glitz and glamour. That's what makes them want to come here.
They don't know there's $3,000 a month for 3-bedroom houses.
Yeah.
You do the math on that. You know what I'm saying? That's $36,000 a year just for rent. We ain't talking about car note, gas, water, nothing, kids. We talking about just on rent, $40,000 a year. Low income for a family of 4 right now in the Bay Area is $175,000. You can make $175,000 with 2 kids and 2 parents and get welfare, food stamps, Medi-Cal, everything.
It's crazy.
Absolutely fucking rich. And it's legit. It's not no bullshit. It's real. You can make $175,000 a year right now and qualify for food stamps, And it's not Medi-Cal. It's covered California. All
The difference in 20 years makes that was big living back.
Do you remember back when Numi money, you was rich when you worked at Numi?
Man.
Or you know what Numi
when
you told a motherfucker you worked at Numi, man, you worked at Numi, you got the Numi money, you balling.
You got that Numi money.
That was only $22 an hour. When I worked at the county, my highest pay for county at the county I think was $28.
Hell yeah.
That's not even that's
City
not
and county
shit.
used to pay a nigga, boy. I'm telling you.
That's not shit right now.
Today's standards,
Yeah, $20 an hour job 20 years ago was fucking.
Bro, I make
easy.
$35 an hour as a consultant via off the shit through the store. Now that's 73,000 a year. It's not shit in California.
Yeah. Not for what you got to pay for.
Not
it
for the
sounds
hell
like,
no. Again, 36,000 of that 73 is rent. You do the math. If it wasn't for speaking engagements and just knowing how to hustle, there's no way I'd be able to survive in California off $71,000 a year. And people don't think about that. So it's just I feel like I've been put in a position that I didn't sign up for, but I got to do it.
So that's everybody leaving the state, going to Colorado, going to Florida,
I'm doing
Washington.
that. I want a
like,
franchise. I own the IP for Buns and More.
Talk about that. Let's talk about the Happy Store.
By her leaving, I had to eat all that debt because she did so much foul shit. I said, I don't even want to give her the.
Yeah.
But she did so much foul shit. Instead of just leaving, instead of just saying, hey, we don't want to. I really would have wished they would have just said, hey, we want to do our own thing. We don't want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
How much would that cost? I'm telling you, me and my wife had tickets up when I found, like, the way we found out that they had a whole nother store, because I didn't know none of this. We didn't know. We ended up finding out because we're going back and forth. We're trying to sever. We see that she ain't been in the store. Her and her mama still getting paid a salary, all kind of shit. I was trying to fight them, but the way our contract was set up, this is why I'm telling people about contracts. The way our contract was set up, it looked good to me on paper, but in essence, I couldn't vote her out no way, no how. The only way that she could get out, even if she was fucking up, was if everybody that was in our circle voted. And I didn't realize that. I knew that was good for me, but it also worked for her.
Right.
So in order for me to get her to fall off, I had to eat all the debt. But
Like
all the while
fucking
doing that,
scab,
they
bro.
didn't accuse me of fucking people at the store in front of my wife. None of this ever happened.
What the fuck?
They
really trying to
did
tarnish
stuff
the
to
credit?
keep me out the store. My cousin, my blood brother's cousin Dre from KML, he worked at the store. They tried to get him kicked out the store. It was just all kind of weird shit so they
That's
can launder the
crazy.
money and do what they was doing. And then I found out that they had the other store because when we got robbed, we had to close for 2 months. We reopened and then we had to get another general manager because my gypsy partner stopped being a general manager. We didn't know why. We get an email from her mother, the other gypsy, and it says the mother's name at a dispensary.
Oh.
So my
They
GM like,
emailed
do
you
you know
from
what
the
that
wrong
is?
address.
They like,
That was like the last
we
shit
looked
white
up,
right
I
there.
pulled it
out.
up. I pulled up the website page to this place in Oklahoma.
Wow.
The first thing I see is my former bookkeeper, who's her friend, his car at the window doing a tutorial of the dispensary, and his husband handing him the product out the store. So she done moved 7-8 people off Blunts and More to Oklahoma and opened up a whole nother business. Yeah, I want to go blow their fucking heads off.
Damn.
But I couldn't, because had I did that, I wouldn't be talking to y'all now. I'd be in
Exactly.
jail.
That's why you're still doing your thing.
So that's why that's the only reason I'm open, because I keep pushing no matter what.
For sure.
And one of the other
Making the
things
right
is
decisions,
because
for
the way
sure.
you run your store, you do unique things that a lot of clubs don't do. You consistently roll out all type of different food trucks and help them cross promote. You stay doing like crazy events and at the venue.
You know I don't charge them?
I know you don't. That's
I
the
don't charge,
greatest thing
I don't
about what
charge
you
no
do.
food truck a dime to come in my store. All I
That's
ask
dope.
is that they give a discount to my staff.
That's what's up.
I pay half if I pay it all, or I tip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And y'all sell as much as y'all want, and whatever staff you got here, I'm gonna give them the employee discount in the store that day that they there.
Man, that's what's up.
Like, I'm sharing my space. Like, come do your thing. Like, I didn't, like, G-Stack made me realize that, bro. I done literally launched a few brands from my parking lot, not even knowing I was doing that. Just giving them somewhere just to come commune and sell their plates.
Hell yeah.
Off the rip.
Community shit. Like, I done had flea markets at my store. I done had expungement clinics at my store. Like, it's a lot. Like,
Yeah, but all that validates your brand, though. You know?
Validates him.
Absolutely.
and
And
I'm
it
not even
validates-
doing it for that.
It validates that
That's
years
what
and
makes you
time.
nice.
right
Yeah,
there in
exactly.
space.
Yeah.
Which is
Like-
crazy. Like, I'm not even doing it like
Like
even
we've
with-
all established, you're just a good person.
I'm just trying
you
to
know?
do it like 'cause I
Yeah.
think that's what's supposed to be done.
Yes, sir.
And one thing that you did do is when we first came together and we started doing stuff, you was on your quest to get your own strain out.
Ask me how I feel about the marijuana. I tell you that I love it like I love my mama. We don't do confusion and all the drama. We be with the crew, little Benny Hanna. California State, cheaper up north. Get it to the bay, it's a buck more. Travel up top, what the fuck for? They ain't even got what a nigga rock. Gelato in my bra with the cookie crumb. On my Instagram, putting hella thumbs. Fuck around, you gon' need another lung.
Let's talk about that, man. Trials and tribulations. One of your good friends that we don't longer have. We lost him a little while ago. But you pushing the line not only for your brand, but some stuff that y'all had going behind the scenes, and that's a good thing that you're doing, keeping his memory alive. Man. Speak on Simply Green and how it's come, and you being an owner, being able to automatically throw it in your store, but its success going into other stores.
First goes down, so it's crazy. So Simply Green. And this is literally where it came from. So 420, we dropped the shoe. Me and my boy Side Collective. Side Collective is a black-owned designer. He does amazing shoes and clothes. And we did a shoe together called the Smoking Vultures. The shoe itself actually smokes. If you hit it with 70-degree heat, the whole panel of the shoe lights up and smokes.
Wow.
Super cool. Got a weed pocket in there. Got a little quote about me in there. Bam. We released that on 420. All the while coming up to that, I kept saying like, man, I want to drop some weed. He know I want to drop some weed, but I know how the white label game go. Like if I want to have my own strain, it's going to be 3 to 5 years before I have my actual own flavor. So what I'm going to have to do is find a flavor I like or 3 flavors, put them in my bags. What do you want to call it? Oh, do you call it Top Shelf Tucky? Nah. Do you call it Simply Green? Why? Because for me, I'm used to smoking dope. I've been smoking dope since 93 when I first started smoking. I'm from the purple era. I grew cookies when it first came out. Like, Be Legit still asked me to grow cookies, and he know I don't grow them no more. Like, I'm really I know my shit. So I've never smoked no Bammer. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So for me, I come from an era where only certain weeds had names. You had light green. You had, your White Widows, your Train Wrecks, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you had the Purple Cushions. You had your Cherry Pies. You had your Durbans. You had your OGs. So you had stuff with names, right? You had names. But nowadays, everything was a gelato or was a this or was a cross of this. So I said, well, look, I want to put something in a bag that no matter what's in the bag, every time you see that bag, you know it's going to be good. I've noticed in the years I've been in the game, just like with on the street, you have a lot of people who will give you this bag and say it's fire in there, and it's fire in the first month, maybe even the second month. About the third month, it's different. It's boof in there, and you're still charging the same price. Yeah. I don't want you to grab my bags and deal with that. Yeah. So what could I do? It was literally, y'all, as a joke. I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna call it Simply Green, and I'm not gonna tell people the flavor. I just want them to smoke it, and then react after you smoke, just like I did.
Yeah.
We didn't care about the flavor. I just like, just smoke that, bro. It'll look good. Do it look good?
Is it fire or not?
Do it smell good?
There's so much fire truck, feel it.
Do it get me high?
Yeah.
Simply Green. That's where that came from.
Go.
And then it was originally supposed to just be at my store because it was just my weed. Because I knew that packaging that y'all can't see because, I have a deal with them to not keep doing it. But I knew that to me it was just going to be in my store, so I didn't have to worry about any issues with it. I started realizing after I did 85 South that other people wanted it. And other stores started saying, man, can we get some Simply Green? Wow. I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we'll take it, but we can't take it if it looks like that. So I designed a new bag, came with it, and now it's going to go into other stores that are MSOs, all because of me, that believe in my palate and shit. Like, to have that kind of pull in 4 years. Bila tell me all the time, I love Be Legit. That's my nigga who I've known. I think I've known Bila since I was 12. Be Legit tells me all the time, Tuck, I don't really have to coach you. Like, you picked up on everything in 4 years, in less than that, but I was taught fast because of the gypsies. The gypsies made me have to get on my shit. Yeah, I had to learn how to read the contracts. I had to learn how to, you know what I'm saying? I have to own that. Yeah, they got over on me, but I gotta own that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a lesson. That was a lesson I was supposed to learn.
Good early than later, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now we here.
To a lesson.
So,
we want to thank my guy Tucky for coming through and blessing the happy hour show. We didn't have plenty of fun. Jim's thrown. You know, all the people out there in the cannabis industries, he dropped a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Any students want to sign up for my guy, Professor over here's course.
The Harrington
you know,
program,
tap in,
yes,
hit
sir.
the link. You can follow him on the IG. It'll be up
Professor.
there. We want to thank him for bringing some of this good fire. Make sure you go
Fuego.
catch some of that Simple Green in the store. Go pull up to 701 66th Street in beautiful Oakland, right across the street from Oracle, and go see my guy over there at Blunts and More, man.
Peace. Happy hour.